I want to talk about, like, I just watched your Cam interview, and I know you touched a lot on your No Limit era. I remember the anticipation, because I was a big Master P fan. Like, Ghetto Dope's my shit.
That was my shit too.
Oh
My homeboy Badass, rest in peace, pulled up on me in a Cadillac, and he was like, "Doggy dog, you gotta hear this shit." And he put the cassette in and Ghetto Dope, and I fell in love with them No Limit.
So fire. But when you first dropped The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told, and you had like the No Limit style cover, and it was like your first, I remember like running to the where I think I saved my money. I might have sold some older CDs to get that motherfucker. But that album felt to me like it was like you going to No Limit's world, as to where Top Dog felt to me like you brought. Yeah, now y'all got to come over here.
Last Meal.
Last Meal was straight.
See, what you don't know
out
about
of those three, Last Meal was my favorite.
Last Meal, Dr. Dre mixed it from top to bottom, every song on there.
So when you were working on Last Meal, were you also simultaneously working on
Chronic
2001?
and the Eastsiders?
Because we didn't get 2001 until after Last Meal, right?
Last Meal, Eastsiders' first album, and Chronic 2001.
All at the same time.
And then we started working on The Wash, because we had wrote The Wash while we did the Up and Smoke tour.
Very slept on soundtrack, by the way.
Come on, man.
Shout out to Nocturnal, man.
That motherfucker, bang.
No, but Last Meal, I remember when Dre was on there's the voicemail in the beginning.
Hey, Snoop, I've been listening to your album, and I ain't said nothing on this whole motherfucker, on Lay Low.
Yeah, on Lay Low. I was like...
But he sequenced the whole album. He mixed everybody's song. Everybody gave him the music. He sequenced the Snoop, Snoop, Snoop,
yeah.
all that into boom, 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 into that, into all of that. He sequenced everything, even the R. Kelly song.
Crazy.
That's that shit?
Yeah.
Me and DOC wrote that.
By the way, very slept on record.
That record was big.
Big record at radio.
No, I used to perform that record with Cuz when he was on the streets. Nigga, that record was huge, nigga. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Shout out to my nigga Knots for making that beat about the VA.
Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But I'm curious, like, I remember having a bootleg version of the album that was supposed to come out, the Fuck Death Row album. There was like I don't know how official it was, but I had like a Napster downloaded version of like a fake Snoop Dogg album, but it was you, but like that was an album you were gonna drop with Mac 10.
Yeah. A couple of songs that got out because one of the engineers that I had worked with ended up going to work for Death Row, and when Suge and them tried to put out that Walking Dead album, he slid him a few.
Oh, I remember that album. This Death Row Chronic 2000 comes out. There's a guy on there that sounds just like you.
Top Dog.
Oh, it's almost like they went out and they were like, we have to find a Snoop Dogg impersonator to try to fool people. And then the name Top Dog, you had an album called Top Dog, you know?
Right.
What were your thoughts when you heard that? Just that whole...
I was like, this nigga Suge is a real hater. Like, that's what my thoughts was, you know what I'm saying, at the time. But then Master P had seasoned me to, like, forgive and to move forward and not look back.
Yeah.
So I had to get trained into not paying attention to it because it was so much of it going on. Like, every time I would try to drop or Dre would drop,
there would be something where if someone went to a record store, they'd see something else next to it and be like, wait, what's this?
And then
like the Dead Man Walking shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then my Fuck Death Row album had leaked a little bit of it because one of the guys that was my engineers had ended up getting paid off by Death Row to work for them, and he slid a couple of my songs over there, and that's when they started finding somebody to sound like me. Can you believe that? It's like they did a talent search to find a nigga to sound like me, which to me it was like I was happy, like I'm really on you niggas' mind like that, where y'all trying to find a nigga that sound like me.
Y'all can't just find someone new?
Right, and it's like, okay, so I must be hurting y'all, and that's what put me on a mission. I started like, when I went to like make music after that, my mission was to make great fucking music, and I think I went on a mission for like 6 straight years.
Oh, you went on a run.
Like Snoop Dogg wasn't playing with nobody.
Yeah.
Doing songs with everybody, putting people on, making sure my records was right, doing big tours, you know what I'm saying? Getting down in the mixtape world. Like whatever was coming out, I was always ahead of it. Even with 50 Cent. 50 Cent was opening up for me, and we showed the G Unit how to get his background.
Right.
Because in the beginning, they just was up there. So I had the Dogg pound and all my crew with me. So 50 would come to my dressing room. We chop it up. I give him a little piece of game. Then before you know it, his show got right. Hold on, don't do that in the club. Shouldn't be your first song. You know, that's got to be your last song.
Right.
You can't come out to that. That's at the back.
Right.
Boom. Take him on the road again. This time we on the road. He dropped one of the niggas off the tour and ended up making it his tour. And now it's just me and him. Then I got a band, rocking with the band. Next time I see him on the road, he rocking with a band. So it's like we learn, we teach, we give information. When you associate it, you affiliate it. And I've been able to like take my career and give game to other people and receive game along the way.
Yeah, for sure. During that kind of time where you and Suge were going back and forth, whether it be, you know, publicly or not, would you ever have thought that like Death Row would be yours one day? Like, it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. Like, cause you had your label, Doghouse, which had like Doggy's Angels and the East Siders, and but fast forward and I feel like you've taken that Death Row brand and like, it's everywhere, dude. Like, I feel like you've slapped that motherfucker on. Like, you got that licensing shit going crazy.
But that's what you're supposed to do. Like,
hell yeah.
My thing was getting it, cleaning it up. I had to clean up the bullshit first because there was so much negative energy around it. People was afraid of what Suge was gonna think and how, you know, the industry would react to doing business with Death Row, considering knowing that this nigga would be in the back trying to hate us, saying things negative. But I was like, I'm just gonna clean up all of this shit, give it a whole new approach, walk it out in a different light, and move with love is the purpose of Death Row Records, to connect the dots that they didn't do. Like, they didn't do none of the things that I'm doing with the label, and they had it way longer than me. I ain't had the label for 2 years, and I've done more things that's been done with this label in 30 years. I
mean, the October London Kid is incredible.
Thank you.
And then, obviously, the new Dogg Pen album is crazy. East Siders are back. D-Smoke.
D-Smoke. I want D-Smoke on Death Row Records. I'll say it publicly. We always talk about it. We need to figure it out.
I know it had been talked about. I know it was in the air.
I'm not ashamed to say I want D-Smoke. I'm from Inglewood. I live over here now. I'm in the Inglewood area, and he's such a factor to the hip-hop game, to the community, to just, like, even how I met him on that show. Like,
yeah, that's true. And when you ask him, where you from?
Right.
Nah, but where you from?
And I'm checking him, trying to see if he a gang member or is he a rapper.
Right.
And come to find out, he becomes my brother.
Yeah, and one of the best guys. Shout out to him and Sir.
Death Row wants you. And Inglewood, Sir, Davion, I take the whole family. Quit playing with me.